Hi, good morning. I've had several inquiries. I talk about this monitoring system that I developed, and this is it. So, just to get a little glimpse of things. So, instead of a monitoring system that just tells you temperature and then tells you that it's too late, you've lost your temperature, this is what I get. It's essentially pressure gauges on all of my critical equipment remotely. So I got my walk-in freezer, I got my walk-in cooler, I can see the suction line, I can see the liquid line, my HVACs, right? I've got output and supply temps. I've got exhaust hoods. And so what this allows me to do is, if those of you that, you can look at this data and you can tell right now what unit's running and what unit's not, based on what's the temperature of the liquid line, what's the temperature of the suction line, what's going on. My cooler is obviously not running because my suction line is 49 and my liquid line is 60. Look at the heartbeat. It's a literal heartbeat, right? This was an anomaly that happened during a delivery. We know that things are set up, but there is a consistency to everything. And so this is the walk-in cooler, right? So let's just talk about this for a minute. So this is my temperature, right? This is my liquid line and this is my suction line. So when the compressor runs, my suction line drops down and then the unit satisfies and then slowly it goes back up. My liquid line, if the condenser fan jacks out on the roof, immediately this goes up through the roof. I'll go to the roof and I'll block this condenser to show you what it does and how it alerts me. So the difference between my system and other systems is when this fan dies on the roof, the box currently is walk-in cooler, right? So it's 37 degrees. I bet it'll stay under 41 for hours. And those hours make a huge difference between getting out here with the part and saving the product or not. So the moment this fan dies, I get a spike in my suction pressure because my condenser isn't reducing heat or rejecting the heat on the roof. And so instead of a 60-degree suction line, I'm gonna have a 90-degree suction line. And immediately my system's gonna say, hey man, you've got a problem, even though my temperatures are fine. So you gotta monitor better than just temperatures. Otherwise, all you got is a, oh no, it's too late alarm. So let me show you how that manifests. All right, so our unit just kicked on. It's on a fan cycle control. So compressor's running, but until we start generating some heat. All right. Commence the head pressure problem. All right, so the unit is so efficient, it's still satisfied even while I was doing it. But if you look, you can see the anomaly. Never, ever does my head pressure get that high. And then all of a sudden, whoop, it did. And it did because essentially I blocked the fan, but the fan was dead. Or your coils are clogged. Or fill in the blank. Heat transfer isn't happening. And I get an email immediately that says, we're out of the norm, something's wrong. What is that data worth? I have shown up to locations that their box is still in temp, but their unit's not working. And they didn't even know it. Because again, our temps are gonna hold for a while until they don't. It's also different for every store. Hang on, I'm getting connected. There you go. So this is actually broadcast into one of my locations that they wanted to see it. So this is on a smart TV. It's just a web address. And so they can see broadcast live their equipment, and this is how they wanted it, right? They can see their kitchen output, they can see the gauges. We've got this set up so they can see on a quick glance how everything's doing. It also controls, right? There's a control aspect to it, where this is the thermostat. It turns on and off the individual components based on intelligence controls. And I've got the same kind of walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer. That's just temperatures. That's not the overlay of the pressures, that's just temperatures. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty flexible, exciting system. There's a relay called Ding Dong. At this location, behind this television, there's a 24-volt doorbell. And so I'm using 24-volt transformer to ring that doorbell if things go out of temp. So they have like a 7-minute delay, and then it rings the doorbell. That way, it's not invasive, but it's annoying. So they can say, and how much does the health department love when they come in and go, oh my gosh, like you can see that your aromas, so like this probe, this isn't in, they're pre-opened, so they haven't set this food in yet, so that's ambient. But when they put the pan in, temperatures will be correct. Yeah, so then the health department can see it's logging all of this so that if you ever find something out of temp, you can look back and know where you lost it, how long has it been. So I know it's just a screen capture of what I've got, but you asked, that's what it looks like.